All right, guys, this is another one of those little short, like 3-minute style videos with no real intro. We're going to talk about strops versus hones. So I've got 3 strops, 3 hones. I'm going to start with strops because typically that's where you're going to start with. So let's get this out of the way. We're going to look at strops real quick. Now, opposed to hones, which are typically manufactured abrasives that are used to touch the edge, strops are typically made out of leather or some softer wood. You can use pine, you can use balsa, you can use basswood. Now, what happens here is you're basically just using the material here through the tanning process of leather. You're going to have some silicates that form through the tanning processes and things like that. Wood, as it grows, it forms silicates in the wood, and that's what's going to do the light abrasive work. But you haven't manufactured anything. So this is just simply, like I said, this used to be one that I had another top on that I had loaded with 1 micron, but this is just bare balsa wood. This is just bare leather. Now this one has been loaded. The nice thing about leather strops are you can actually go a step further and add some super fine, ultra fine abrasive to these. This one here is loaded with 1 micron diamond, and on this side it is loaded with chromium oxide, different steels, different things like that. This is going to give you some very ultra fine cutting ability. So it's going to act a little bit like a hone, but nowhere near as close as an actual hone. On this one, I've loaded this one with another type of impregnated diamond on this at I think this is 2 microns. So this is a little bit coarser than that, but really not a lot of cutting power to bring that edge back up. So to bring an edge back up, if these don't work, you're going to need what's coming up next. So I thought I would real quick explain what happens. So when you're using a knife, you knock those teeth, those little micro serrations on that out of the way. And what the leather does is there's microsilicon stuff in it are hard enough that they kind of align all those little cutting teeth on the edge and get them back in place. It's just like knocking them back in. So that's how that works. So now let's look at hones. So as I said, opposed to strops that really don't have any actual cutting power unless they're loaded, even then they are just ultra fine and can't remove any material, any blemishes in the steel, stuff like that. Hones actually can. There's different kinds. This is a diamond hone. This can be used out in the field. This is not all that aggressive. This is actually a fairly fine one for as aggressive as it looks. This is fairly fine, still will get you a touch up on an edge. This is an ultra fine ceramic plate, and it does not have a lot of cutting horsepower, but it will take off some material and reestablish some of that edge. And then this is a new one that I just got, which is a good bit coarser than my other hones. This is a ceramic hone that came from Dull Strong Knives. And this is something that you absolutely could fix an edge on temporarily and just touch up. So as opposed to the strops that are just aligning the edge, these are actually cutting material, removing material, and reestablishing an edge. It's going to be significantly finer a lot of times than the edge that you had put on it. So you can over hone and over strop a knife. If you put a knife on this too much, you will remove the teeth down and fine them down and burnish them off until they don't cut the way you want. But for a quick touch up, if your knife has gotten dull and a strop won't do it, you can do a couple passes on a ceramic. There are steel ones of these. I don't recommend them. They don't work the same as these. But yeah, you can just simply, if you've got an edge that has just lost its little bit of tooth, you can reestablish that with one of these hones. They're great things to have. They work a little bit differently, but these are things that will prevent you from needing to sharpen as often. So there you go. A little quick 3.5 minute touch on hones and strops. I've done it in shorts before. They were a lot shorter and I just couldn't get the information out. So there we go.